Okay, get ready, because we are diving deep into what many people call the Chinese Immortal Game.
Oh, yeah. This is a spectacular one, a modern masterpiece from, what, 2017?
That's right, from the Chinese Chess League. Let's get right into it. Move 1. White plays pawn to d4.
Black responds, knight to f6.
Move 2. White, pawn to c4.
Black plays pawn to e6.
Move 3. White, knight to c3.
And here, black plays bishop to b4, and just like that, we're in the Nimzo-Indian Defense. A very complex, challenging opening.
Exactly. Move 4. White plays knight to f3. This is the 3 knights variation.
Black castles. Super standard, gets the king safe early on, or so he thinks.
Right. Move 5. White plays bishop to g5, applying that early pin on the knight.
And black immediately challenges the center with pawn to c5. Very aggressive.
Move 6.
Yeah.
White plays pawn to e3.
And black plays pawn captures on d4.
Okay, let's pause here for a second,
Wow.
because this is the first really crucial decision point of the game. White has to decide how to take that pawn back.
It really is. This decision basically sets the tone for everything that follows.
Bai Jinshi had a choice here, right? Safety or aggression,
Exactly. The standard move, the one you'd see most of the time, would be pawn captures on d4.
which would lead to what kind of game?
Oh, a much simpler one. Symmetrical, solid, lots of pieces would probably get traded off. But, against a player like Ding Liren, Bai Jinshi clearly wanted a more complex fight.
So he decides to bring out the big gun.
He does. He centralizes his queen.
Move 7. White plays queen captures on d4.
And this is the move that, well, it invites all the trouble. I mean, the queen is centralized, which looks great, but his king is still stuck on e1. It's uncastled, it's vulnerable.
And Ding Liren jumps on that immediately.
Instantly. Black plays knight to c6.
Such a simple move, but it's devastating. For those of you listening, what does knight to c6 really do here, besides just, developing a piece?
It gains a critical tempo. That's a unit of time in chess. It forces that big centralized queen to move again, so black is developing a piece and making white waste time.
So that powerful queen suddenly becomes a target.
Precisely. It's a liability.
So white has to respond. Move 8. White plays queen to d3, just retreating a bit.
And black plays pawn to h6. He's just relentlessly challenging every piece. Now he's asking the bishop on g5 what it wants to do.
Making white make these uncomfortable choices, move after move.
Yep. Move 9. White plays bishop to h4.
And black plays pawn to d5. This is that crucial central thrust you always talk about. When the enemy king is stuck in the middle, you blow the center wide open.
That's the textbook response. Maximize those lines of attack.
Move 10. White plays rook to d1, trying to defend that d-pawn.
But black plays pawn to g5. Ding Liren is just unrelenting. He forces the bishop back again and starts to mess up white's whole kingside pawn structure.
Okay, so move 11. White plays bishop to g3.
And now black plays knight to e4. That knight is now a monster right in the heart of white's position.
A hyperactive piece.
Totally. So, move 12. White plays knight to d2. He's trying to manage the threat, maybe prepare to castle finally.
But black just keeps coming.
Yeah.
Knight to c5, attacking the queen on d3 again.
That poor queen is still running for its life.
Move 13. White plays queen to c2, dropping it all the way back.
And here it comes, the detonator.
Black plays pawn to d4. Let's just breathe for a second here. This is where the pure calculation takes over. Ding Liren has set the stage perfectly. The queen's out of place, the center is cracked open.
And white's king is a permanent resident of the center of the board. There's no escape now.
So the only way forward for black is to act now, before white can untangle himself.
Exactly. Bai Jinshi has to try and shut things down.
So, move 14. White plays knight to f3, trying to shore up the defenses.
Black plays pawn to e5, just supporting that d4 pawn, maximizing all that central tension.
Move 15. White plays knight captures on e5. This looks like a solid move, right? Removing a key piece.
It looks solid, but this is the moment of commitment. Ding Liren completely rejects a simple exchange. He's not here to trade pieces. He wants demolition.
Black plays pawn captures on c3.
Wow.
Wait a minute. He's giving up his queen, isn't he?
He is. He's basically trading his queen for a rook and a pawn. It looks like absolute madness against a grandmaster.
How does this even work? How can this lead to a sustained attack?
It's all based on two simple facts. White's king is totally exposed, and white's pieces are completely uncoordinated.
So he sacrifices the most powerful piece on the board just to guarantee tempo and piece activity.
Exactly. And white has to take it. He has no choice.
Okay. Move 16. White plays rook captures on d8. He takes the queen.
And now black plays pawn captures on b2, check. This is it, the Immortal Queen's sacrifice. This pawn move forces the white king out into the open immediately.
So white is way up on material, but his king is now under this just brutal, immediate attack, stuck right on the e-file.
And this is the moment. Bai Jinshi is under intense pressure, and he has to find the only defensive move in the entire position.
And he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
This is where the game goes from chaotic to just a forced loss.
Move 17. White plays king to e2.
And that is the catastrophic blunder. That single move seals white's fate. I want to really emphasize this for everyone listening. The engine confirms this. The evaluation goes from complex, maybe near equal, to completely decisively winning for black.
Catastrophic. Why? I mean, what was the move he missed? What was the safe path?
The only way to survive was rook to d2, that one move.
And what would that have done?
It aims to trade rooks, to simplify. It would have deflated black's attack and let white control that central file. By moving his king to e2, he just walks right into the fire.
I can't imagine the feeling realizing that king to e2 was the move that lost the game.
It must have been devastating. So the game continues, move 17 and a half. Black plays rook captures on d8. He gets some of that material back.
Move 18. White plays queen captures on b2, getting rid of that dangerous pawn.
Black plays knight to a4. The knight springs to life on this incredible outpost, and, surprise, it's attacking the queen again.
Move 19. White plays queen to c2.
And black plays knight to c3, check. And that's it. The king hunt is officially on. The white king is about to go on a very, very long and unpleasant journey.
It's forced onto this exposed central square, totally cut off from its own army.
Yep. Move 20. White plays king to f3.
And now comes one of the most brilliant, just genius moves of the whole game. It's so quiet, but it's so deadly. Black plays rook to d4.
Absolute brilliance. This quiet little centralization move just paralyzes white's entire position. And what's so crucial here for everyone listening is that the rook cannot be captured.
It can't. Why not?
If white even thinks about playing pawn captures on d4, the knight on c3 delivers a royal fork on the king and queen. Game over instantly.
Wow. So he sacrificed a queen, but he's completely dictating the game. White can't even touch this rook sitting in the middle of the board. That's just maximum leverage.
Precisely. White is paralyzed.
So move 21. White plays pawn to h3. Just a desperate attempt to make an escape route.
And black just shuts it down with pawn to h5, restricting the king even more.
Move 22. White plays bishop to h2, trying to get another piece out of the line of fire.
Black plays pawn to g4, check. The king side is just torn open. The king is forced even further into enemy territory.
Move 23. White plays king to g3, moving deeper and deeper into danger.
And black plays rook to d2. He's offering the rook for a second time. It maintains this relentless tempo, forces white to deal with the threat to his queen.
He just can't consolidate. Every single move from Ding Liren is a direct threat or a check.
There's no time to breathe. Move 24. White plays queen to b3.
Black plays knight to e4, check.
Move 25. White plays king to e4. The king is practically in the opponent's camp now.
Unbelievable. And black plays bishop to e7, check, pushing the king right to the edge of the board.
Move 26. White plays king captures on h5. He grabs the pawn.
And here's another one of those remarkably precise, subtle moves. Black plays king to g7.
It looks so quiet, almost defensive. But it's all part of the final plan. He gets his own king to safety and, crucially, clears the h-file for his other rook to join the attack.
The grand tour is almost over. That white king has gone from e2 all the way to h5. It's exhausted. It's exposed.
And now comes the flawless finishing act.
Move 27. White plays bishop to f4, just desperately trying to bring a piece back to help.
Black plays bishop to f5. The bishops are now connected, both aimed at the king.
Move 28. White plays bishop to h6, check.
Black just calmly plays king to h7.
Move 29. White plays queen captures on b7. A last, desperate material grab on the other side of the board.
And black completely ignores it. He delivers the final, decisive blow. Rook captures on f2.
That's the third major sacrifice. Explain the threat here, because obviously white can't just take that rook, right?
Oh, absolutely not. That would be the end. This sacrifice clears the path for the mating net. If white gets greedy and tries to win black's other rook on a8, then it's knight to g3 checkmate.
So the sacrifice is unavoidable. It guarantees the win.
It's inescapable.
Okay, so move 30. White plays bishop to g5, trying to block the h-file.
Black plays rook to h8. The other rook swings into the attack. Now all of black's pieces are perfectly coordinated around that poor king.
2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops. The whole army is there.
The whole army. Move 31, white plays knight captures on f7. Just a hopeless counter-sacrifice.
Black plays bishop to g6. Check.
Move 32, white plays king captures on g4.
And black plays knight to e5. Check. And it's at this point that Bai Jinshi resigned the game.
He'd just seen enough. The calculation was just too deep, too overwhelming.
What an incredible ending.
Yeah.
The coordination is perfect.
Yeah.
For the listener, what was the force mate that Ding Liren saw? It must have been beautiful.
It was incredible. After knight to e5 check, white is just out of moves. If he had tried, for example, capturing the knight, black continues with bishop to f5 check, forcing the king to h5.
Yeah.
Then black plays king to g7 check. White has to block with the bishop on h6, and then rook captures h6 is a stunning checkmate. He saw all of
The
this.
16 moves of forced attack after sacrificing his queen. It's just, it's a true modern immortal game. It proves that human creativity can still produce these masterpieces. What a wild ride. That poor king probably needs a very long rest after traveling the entire board, from e2 all the way to h5 before finally being cornered.
Indeed, it's a grand tour of agony that the history books won't soon forget.
Smash that subscribe button if your jaw just hit the floor, and subscribe to the channel Chess Explained by AI.